All right, this video is a review for the quiz on dividing polynomials, the remainder theorem, and the factor theorem. Okay. Now, you have to make sure on the quiz that you divide the way it tells you to divide. So on this practice quiz, number 1 says divide using long division. Okay, so we have to use long division. Make sure you divide the way it tells you to divide in the quiz. Okay, so I'm going to put my divisor over here, 7x minus 8. I'll put my dividend over here, 70x squared minus 45x minus 47. All right, so remember, divide the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor. So I'm going to do this off to the side. 70x squared divided by 7x equals 10x. Okay, so that's going to be part of my quotient. So let me put that up here. I'll put it above the other x term so it looks nice. 10x goes right there. And then remember, you're going to subtract out that 10x times the divisor. So do that off to the side if you need to. 10x times 7x minus 8 equals 70x squared minus 80x. So that's what we're going to subtract. Now remember, the first term should always subtract out and become 0. Otherwise, you'll be here just repeating this all day long. Okay? The first term should always subtract out. And then be careful for the signs. Negative 45 minus negative 80. That's like saying negative 45 plus 80. So that'll be positive 35x. Okay? Bring down the negative 47. And then repeat the process. Okay, so we're going to do 35x, the first term of the dividend. I'll call it my new dividend. The first term of the new dividend divided by the first term of the divisor. So 35x divided by 7x equals 5x. I mean, just 5. 35x divided by 7x equals 5. Okay, so that's going to be part of my quotient or my answer. So I'll put that up here. And then remember, you're going to subtract out the 5 times the divisor. So 5 times 7x minus 8 equals 35x minus 40. And that's what you're going to subtract out. Okay, so that's negative 47 minus negative 40. So minus negative 40 becomes plus. So it'll be negative 7 for my remainder. So the final answer, 10x plus 5, and then you put your remainder over the divisor. Okay? 10x plus 5, and then put your remainder over the divisor. If the remainder was a positive 7, that would be a plus, but it's a negative 7, so that's why it's a minus. And remember, that's a little confusing, but negative 47 minus negative 40 is like plus 40. So that's why it's negative 7. Okay. Number 2, divide using synthetic division. So always be careful. If you're missing a term, you have to put in the 0. So you're missing the x cubed term, so maybe you want to do this first. You don't have to do it right now, but you definitely have to do it later. So I'll just do it right now. I'll do plus 0x cubed minus 81x squared minus 3x plus 23. Whenever you divide, you change the value of the number that goes in the box. So the number that's going to go in the box is going to be positive 9. Okay? Positive 9 is what's going in the box. And then list the coefficients in order. 1, negative 8, 0. That 0 must be there. Negative 81, negative 3, 23. Okay, so don't forget the 0 for the missing term. That must be there. And now let's go through the process of synthetic division. This 1 gets carried down. 1 times the 9 in the box is 9. Plus the negative 8 above it equals 1. Repeat the process. 1 times the 9 in the box is 9. 9 plus 0 is 9. 9 times the 9 in the box is 81. Plus negative 81 is 0. Interesting. 0 times the 9 in the box is 0. Plus negative 3 above it equals negative 3. And negative 3 times the 9 in the box is negative 27. Plus the 23 above it is negative 4. Okay, so remember, this is your remainder. I'll just put an R there. This is your constant. I'll just put a C there. This is your x term. That's your x squared term. That's your x cubed term. That's your x to the fourth term, and so on. So my final answer, 1x to the fourth, I'm just going to put x to the fourth, plus 1x cubed, I'm just going to put plus x cubed, plus 9x squared. You don't have to put plus 0x. Okay, so I'm going to skip that, and I'll put the constant, negative 3. And I put my remainder over my divisor. So minus 4 over the divisor of x minus 9. Number 3, evaluate using synthetic substitution. So for this one, you do not change any signs. I'll jot that down. You don't change any signs for this one when you put the number in the box. Okay, so 6 goes in the box. Then we'll put the coefficients, negative 1, 5, 4, 7, 26. Again, if you're missing a term, make sure you include a 0 for that term. And let's do the process. Negative 1 comes down. Negative 1 times the 6 in the box is negative 6. Plus the 5 above it is negative 1. Repeat the process. Negative 1 times the 6 in the box is negative 6. Plus the 4 above it is negative 2. Negative 2 times the 6 in the box is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 7 is negative 5. Negative 5 times 6 is negative 30. Plus 26 gives you negative 4. So that is the answer. F, because this is an F right there, of 6 equals negative 4. That means if I took 6 and I did negative 6 to the fourth, plus 5 times 6 cubed, plus 4 times 6 squared, plus 7 times 6, plus 26, I would get negative 4. Number 4 and number 5, determine or state if the given binomial is a factor of the given polynomial. So for these, you're going to divide, and since you're dividing, it means you change the sign of the number that goes in the box. So 9 is what's going to go in the box. Then list your coefficients in order. Make sure you add zeros if you're missing any terms. 1, negative 8, negative 18, 87, and negative 54. You're looking to see what the remainder is. If the remainder is 0, then yes, it's a factor. If the remainder is not 0, then no, it's not a factor. 1 comes down. 1 times the 9 in the box is 9. 9 plus negative 8 is 1. 1 times the 9 in the box is 9. 9 plus negative 18 is negative 9. Negative 9 times the 9 in the box is negative 81. Plus 87 above it is 6. 6 times the 9 in the box is 54. Plus the negative 54 above it is 0. So that's my remainder. So since the remainder is 0, it means yes, it is a factor, because when the remainder is 0, it means there really is no remainder. So I'll say yes. 9 minus 9 is a factor of the given polynomial. Because the remainder is 0, or because there is no remainder. Make sure you show your work for these on the quiz. Don't just say yes or no. Show your work. Okay. And let's do one more like that. Okay, again, you're dividing, so it means you change the sign of the number in the box. So in this case, the number in the box is going to be -10. Then list your coefficients in order. Make sure you add a 0 if necessary. Carry down the -7. -7 times the -10 in the box is 70. 70 plus -73 is -3. -3 times -10 in the box is 30. Plus -33 above it is -3. -10 times -3 is 30. Plus the -35 above it is -5. Okay, so this is the remainder. So since there is a remainder, in other words, since the remainder is not 0, the answer is no. So I'll say no, b plus 10 is not a factor of the given polynomial. Because the remainder is not 0. So no, because the remainder is not 0. And that's the end of the review to the quiz on dividing polynomials, the remainder theorem, and the factor theorem.